of over 100,000 homes that we have heard have been destroyed. However, this, some said, is due to the climate change. Others said, well, I mean, you might not be totally wrong if if you point to climate change as the reason that led to this surge in the water level that is now drowning so many communities. I'm talking about thousands of communities. This is not even like a 10, 15, 20. We are talking about thousands, including state capitals in Nigeria. These are not being talked about enough. But the reports that first came out was that Bokwari's government, the APC, Egbekegbe, have approved $1 million. How much is that in Naira? 500 or so, well, 700 million Naira to help the victims of this flood. But they are not stopping there because they actually have a different idea of why you have been washed away from your homes and why over 600 people have been killed in Nigeria. Kalu made mention of something like, gone are the days when our forebearers, they used to sacrifice cows or sacrifice to the god of water to stop any kind of flooding like this, right? So he was referring to the olden, and he also added, he said, but science, technology has defeated all of that. People have developed ideas that could prevent this kind of a thing. But the Bokwari's government, who have blamed everyone but themselves for what Nigeria has become today, they have not stopped. They have blamed you. They have blamed, they've blamed everyone. They've blamed God. Well, I don't think they are blaming God for this one, but they are just telling you that, well, somehow indirectly, it's just God. Remember, we said something about a Lagdo Dam in Cameroon. This dam is a very huge dam built to collect the water from a lake called Lagdo Lake. I'm going to show you something, okay? So that you and I can just pieces together that even if I am not a government agent, even though you are not a government agent, technology, internet has made things so easy that there are some information that you can actually get right there, the top of your palm. Yeah, right there on your palm. Your phone, this same phone or device you are using to watch Mayegun right now, except your TV, even your TV, you can search for things that you're curious about, names, keywords. They give you an idea. And this helps in understanding when people who are supposed to even know better, who are government agents, who have raw information, raw data, if they have any, should be speaking responsibly and professionally. But in Nigeria, even somebody that they say is a PhD holder, if you want to press his mumu button or a mumu button, if they say somebody is a professor, I'm a professor of I'm professor of this and that. As educated as many Nigerians are, I'm talking about those who have actually, obtained the highest of the highest level of education, research, and all that in their life. If you want to press their mumu button, just drop God. Everything will just, every common sense will just disappear. And politicians know this very well. So they are not so kind of shy or shameful in dropping God. Boom. And everybody will say, it's true. It is true, Jare. Stop arguing. The generation that believed that Julius Baja sacrificed his life just to build a common 100-meter bridge in a Korodu. Are you with me? The generation that believed that, they are educated too, but guess what? As educated as they might sound to you, as exposed as they might be, Some of them even live abroad. If you want to press their mumu button, where common sense no go make any sense anymore. Just drop God and continue to go on and talk about your imagination of what that God is doing, to then stop taking responsibility, which is the key instrument of Nigerian politicians. For those of us who know them, once they start dropping God, or they start calling themselves deacon or deaconess or alaji or sheikh, or they start calling themselves pastor, reverend, you begin to, if you and I won't talk, Mo will talk. Leave God out of that conversation for now. If we want to talk about God, that's a different conversation. Do you understand? Because they love it. Majority of you do that, don't you? You do that even on Mayegun's Diary Political. Sometimes when you talk and talk and talk, because you have no idea what is it going to be like, that moment, there's so much going on in your head. Like you are like, whoa, Mayegun, it's only God that can help us. See that? That moment, all tension, all apprehension will suddenly just simmer. Say, it's true, Sha. It's true. So no wonder the Minister of Water Resources in Nigeria, who have been receiving a budget of hundreds of billions over time, to face the camera and answer the question of, well, I think this is where we're going to start from before we get to the minister. This is, once again, Lagdo Dam in Cameroon, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the dam holding the water from Lagdo Lake. You see, the force of that water is the same force entering Nigeria in the last few months. They continue to release it and release it. But there was an arrangement in place since 1980, but it came to effect in 1982 when Cameroon constructed that dam, completed it. You see, that dam provides electricity for northern Cameroon. It provides water, irrigation system in northern Cameroon. You know Nigeria share border with Cameroon, or you don't? Well, you do. You should. And this border that Nigeria share with Cameroon stretches up to northern Nigeria, including Adamawa. I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you on the screen. Now, when you see, once they release the water from the dam, there is a pathway, and that pathway is called Benue River or River Benue. Now, just like that path of water from that Lagdo stretches like that and take it straight into Nigeria and straight to the southern part of Nigeria, which goes straight into the Atlantic Ocean by passing through Bayelsa. Now, all these parts, including Benue, everywhere, Niger State, as far as Niger State, including, well, I'm still coming to that one anyway, including Lagos, that your Lagos is prone to this. But Nigeria continue to, the failure that is part of the 62 years of Nigeria independence, right? People continue to suffer. So Nigeria politicians or governments, past and present, in their own foreign policy, the one they have with Cameroon is that whenever Cameroon want to release the water, Cameroon should let them know. They say the water usually rises every 3-4 years. Like it will rise that much that they have to release a lot of it. So sometimes Cameroon would yield and say, we are going to release some water and so time. Nigerian government will raise Amber alerts. All of you in this also area, there's going to be flooding the moment it rains, blah, 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 sha. So they've been patching it rather than build the biggest of the biggest dam that ordinarily could have been bigger than Kainji. You know, Kainji Dam would have been bigger than Kainji and provided electricity that could have helped Nigeria to generate 24 hours electricity in some certain part of Nigeria for the past 30 years, like conveniently for the past 30 years. Bokwari happened in 1984, remember that, or 85. And some said that's part of what contributed to them never doing it. Bokwari came back 30 years later. And guess what? The flood or the flooding continues. And this time around, it's even worse. A minister in 2022, let me show you some part of Nigeria where this flood has touched, and then people are currently counting their losses, including those who have lost their loved ones. And finally, that they are talking about it, they are not even being honest about it. But he said 80% of this water in Nigeria today is from God. This is somewhere in Kogi.
Kiji ni gude for ya yete. Idipo.
So we heard that the government of the United States is also sending money to help the victims. Some are already turning this into their own advantage of taking advantage of others. Somewhere like this.
Cross like this now 500. 500. Toro cross. 500. Toyota canoe 1,000. Jesus. You don't go. Once you fall like this, you don't go. They say person don't fall, you don't enter this money, sir.
And if you really want to see what it looks like, an image or a video of what it looks like from above when the areas that have been submerged taking a peep from the above.
I remember the prophecy of Prophet Nandekano. It shall come to pass when Somalia disaster shall be seen as a paradise compared to the calamity coming upon Nigeria.
Thank you. It is sad, isn't it? Anyway, the Minister of Water Resources in Nigeria, a quota system Minister of Water Resources, have this information for Nigerians. Guess what? He's so confident saying this.
Stories I've been seeing on social media, I just laugh because they're misleading. Lagdo Dam releases the flood, its contribution to flood in this country is only 1%. Sometimes they release water without notice, and when they do that, it has impact on communities downstream. But it is not the main reason why we have flood in this country. 80% of the flows in this country is water that we are blessed with from God from the sky. This year's flood, I can assure you, we cannot blame it on Cameroon, to be sincere. Whether we're able to do that in Hausa or not, we'll continue to have floods on the river Niger and Benue basins. We signed the MOU with Cameroonian authorities. But since then, believe me, every year, once the plug season comes, it is the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency that calls them. What is your level in Lagdo? What is your level? Even this one, they told us when he called them, when he saw that the rains were, I was communicating with the DG, NISA. I said, what's happening in Cameroon? He said he has been calling them. They said they have not released any water. But they said they will inform. They are the ones that should be keeping us informed on the basis of the MOU. They didn't. Finally, they said, okay, that they will inform us tomorrow. They didn't inform us. They informed us 24 hours after they had released the water. They did the same thing 2 years ago. And we had to write, I wrote to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Nigeria had to write a protest letter to the Cameroon authorities that they did not inform us. It was after our rains had gone, then suddenly we saw flood in Adamawa area. And we realized, we're asking them for 2 weeks, they were denying that they had opened the reservoir. You know, and of course it didn't go to the confluence. It was limited to the areas of Adamawa State, that was, you know, and Taraba, because, like I said, the contribution to the flood by Lagdo Dam is not so high.
Can you believe that Nigeria, giant of Africa, who failed to build their own dam and utilize that to develop that part of Nigeria? A missed opportunity. Then the minister is talking about MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, so that Cameroon will have to tell them before they release water. Like, are you joking? Are you serious? Eh? For how many years? For 40 years. Are these guys like, you know, and that's what Nigeria is all about, okay? Since 80% of the water that comes to Nigeria is from God. Now, let me, in order to debunk that, okay, you and I, let us have a moment of, you know, lecture. We'll do it together, all right? So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to connect to something that you can call the Google Earth. Like I said, some information are not really that hard to find if you probably look for the keywords of what you are looking for. Thank you very much. The keywords will actually lead you to seeing the emptiness of rogues like that, right? Now, give me a moment.
For those who are particularly responsible for the distribution of relief materials at all levels, please do not hoard these relief materials. From the Central Committee, as it is going down to the local governments, down to the communities, I want to see videos of how these movements are being done. And the committee should be able to brief the press, particularly of what you have brought in so far and how you are distributing.
So that's the Bayelsa State Governor reacting to this sad emergency, they will say. However, I'm going to please ask you to help me here. If the audio is acting up, please let me know so I don't just continue to speak. I'll talk without, you know, talking. I'm going to read my comment on the side. Now, we're talking about where is Lagdo Dam and how did all this water made their way into Nigeria for the past 40 years, and why Nigeria's failure to build a same dam that could have served as an irrigation system for most part of northern Nigeria, that could have also helped the migration of the Fulani herders that are causing serious security upheavals all over Nigeria, something that is also helping in tearing Nigeria apart as we speak. So this is the world map on your screen, right? Like I said, once the audio starts acting up, let me know. So if you go on to world map, Google Earth, we are going to look for where is Lagdo Dam on this map. This is Earth. This is where you and I, this is where we are. This is the Earth on your screen, right? And you can possibly try this. Turn it around. You can roll it like a globe and see where all of us are. Where is Africa? Where is Europe? You can see all of that. But don't worry. We are looking for Lagdo Dam. So we say Lagdo Dam in Cameroon. And then look on your screen, please. So it's going to take us there. And Lagdo Dam derives its name from the lake called Lagdo Lake. That is where the name Lagdo Dam comes from. Annually, whenever the water level rises, this dam, which is right here on your screen, a big one, it's like within the mangrove of West Africa, if you say. But if you go a little bit back, where I want you to pay attention to the dots, where it is the Lake Lagdo. And then we go back a bit more so that we can see the border, the northern Cameroon and Nigeria, and how did this water find their way into your homes in Nigeria. Pay attention to this Lagdo here. So the map on your screen, if you are regular, if you are like very conversant with a Nigeria map, you can see this is Nigeria. Here. This is Nigeria. This is the lake here. Makes any sense yet? Don't worry. I'll show you where it leads, how the water leads into Nigeria. Now you can see that there are communities here who share border. Maybe not so close. For example, look at Jalingo. Look at the Lagdo Dam on your right. Look at Nasarawa, Lafia. And look at Benue, partly Makodi, when the water comes there. Makodi, which is Benue. And then come down and you will see, hang on. Let me bring it up. Still talking about Nigeria here. So down here, you will see, before the Atlantic Ocean. Hang on. Let me see if I can get that up. Yeah. So this blue part is Atlantic Ocean, right? Now from here, Lagdo Lake here, down to the River Benue, down to this part. I wish my cursor is showing on your screen. I really wish, but don't worry. So when you come straight down, you get to Port Harcourt, Uyo, and these are the areas that are prone to, to this flooding, by the way. But let us go back to Lake Lagdo and the Lagdo Dam. So here is the dam up here. So let me come closer on your screen. So you can see where that water that is ravaging Nigeria is coming from. A moment. Now, let's see. You see on your screen, you can see Lagdo. Hang on. You can see Lagdo Dam, and you can also see the Lagdo Lake. So at the tail end here, where this Lagdo is blinking, exactly there is where you have the dam. Now, if you bolding this again, you will see the path the water is going, right? Let's bolding that. So, do you see that narrow path? River Benue. That is River Benue. Hang on. Now, if you continue to bolden it, then you see River Benue clearly. So you see the path the water is taking. This is how the water got into Nigeria every time it is released. Are you with me? Now, when you continue like that, on its path, it can overflow and just begin to spread down like that. Now, you see the path of the water straight into, well, this is a very, very big map, you will say. Yeah? But now, the moment the water gets so much into Nigeria, this is the path. It keeps going. And the left part is going into Nigeria. You know that? Now, if you, at this point, decide to minimize the map again from what it is, yeah, you realize that, you see this path on your screen is where, on the map, right? If you do like that, hang on. I think I should minimize more. Now, if you look at the world map, which is round the earth itself, it means that once the water is freed that way, it keeps coming down, and that's where you have your flooding. So let's go back again to what could have prevented that. Now, ordinarily, a supposed country who understand the damages that this will do to their own country, their people, their properties, and every other thing. This is where what Nigeria didn't do. Again, you see the dam, Abi? Now, if you bolden it, imagine here, once they release the dam from here, and Nigeria built the, I wish I could draw on this, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. Anyway, so I wish I could, let's see. I can't, so that I could analyze even better. But you see this path that the water is passing through, Nigeria could have built a dam here. Just right here. And that would be them building a dam on River, hang on River Benue. You see, this would just be like a channel, just like Cameroon did. If you pay attention very well to the path again, yeah? Just like Cameroon did here with Lagdo Dam. They could have called it Benue Dam or anything else. Give me a second, by the way. So when we say, hey, you see, this is exactly what Cameroon did, yeah. This blue part is where you have that Lake Lagdo. Remember that, This is the water that is causing problem. The moment it overflows, it follows this channel. See what Cameroon did here, where you have this, see this red point on your screen. This one, What Cameroon did is that they blocked the water to reduce the pressure, and they built a dam here. I'll show you. Let's see if this Google map can bring it closer. See the dam. This is the Lagdo Dam. You see what Cameroon did? They even built road that linked to the dam. Can you see the road on your screen? Now, this is what Cameroon did. Cameroon built a channel here to control the pressure of that water, right? Then they built a plant whereby they could use that pressure of the water. Are you with me? Use the pressure of the water to generate electricity. Because it's natural water, it's God water, Abi. But it's going to wreak havoc if it's not controlled. Are you with me? So Cameroon built this. I don't know if it's appearing so large enough on your screen. So this saved lives in Cameroon. This is what Cameroon built. that Nigeria decided to go and sign MOU. But guess what? In 1982, Nigeria launched similar project that they are going to build. Hang on, oh, that this water, once Cameroon released this water, and the water goes straight into River Benue, and all these parts, this Nigeria part, they are going to be destroyed by water. All these parts will be destroyed. All these cities, all these towns, all these communities, they will be destroyed if nothing is done, right? Nigeria didn't do anything. So Nigeria went to Cameroon for 40 years. They were asking Cameroon to always remind them whenever the water is high in their own dam, so that they can begin to budget for NEMA, for people that are going to lose their properties. See, this is Lagdo hydro plant. Hydro plant is where you have a plant that is generating electricity through the water, the force of water. This is what Nigeria didn't do. So what is happening in Nigeria is not act of God. It is the consequences of the short-sightedness of the criminals who are leading you. They allowed the water from here to move straight down freely. Freely. If Cameroon failed to release the water, you know what is going to happen? Let me show you. That is what Nigeria is not telling you. And they are not taking responsibility. That's another sad thing, right? What Cameroon will lose is this. If Cameroon fail, remember, now Benue River, no be only Nigeria get Benue River. Sure, you know, so many African countries have this water. Look at the water. It's even like beyond Cameroon. Look at it. The water is beyond Cameroon. Look at your screen. It's a full ocean. Full blue ocean that gain access through a channel. And that channel passed through Cameroon, passed through Nigeria. When it got to Cameroon, they built a channel, converted it into something that will not become a curse, but a blessing. Look at this. That is their hydro plant. This is where, you see, from inside your room, you can see all of these images. Inside your room, you can see what Nigeria won't let you see, but they will blame it on God, or we should go and do sacrifice. We need to go and sacrifice. My brother, you don't know what you are talking about. Once Cameroon failed to release their water here, you know what will happen? The water will submerge this entire building, this entire structure, everything. Shebi na human being build them. Shebi na God get the water, abi? And water no get leg, you no get hand, abi? It will destroy everything here. It will wash everything off. Same way, water is washing your bed and everything out of your rooms right now. So consequences of one Nigeria. If I tell you I don't like them, I know some of you love them, but you don't know the damages they have done to you. And these are the guys who actually don't take responsibilities. Now they are saying it's God. Now I'm going to play that minister again, and I'm going to ask you, do you still believe this guy, the Minister of Water Resources, a quota system minister that said, now 80% of what, listen to this again anyway, and then compare it to what I have told you so far, and tell me, am I somebody you should actually not like? Do I look like, should I be somebody you don't like because of the lies these criminals are telling you? Really? Or is it because of the truth they are not telling you? Listen to this again and tell me how proud you are. How proud you are as a Nigerian.
Stories I've been seeing on social media, I just laugh because they're misleading. Lagdo Dam releases the flood, its contribution to flood in this country is only 1%. Sometimes they release water without notice, and when they do that, it has impact on communities downstream. But it is not the main reason why we have flood in this country. 80% of the flows in this country is water that we are blessed with from God from the sky. This year's flood, I can assure you, we cannot blame it on Cameroon, to be sincere. Whether we're able to do that in Hausa, or not. We'll continue to have floods on the river Niger and Benue basins. We signed the MOU with Cameroonian authorities. But since then, believe me, every year, once the flood season comes, it is the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency that calls them. What is your level in Lagdo? What is your level? Even this one, they told us when he called them, when he saw that the rains were, I was communicating with the DG, NISA. I said, what's happening in Cameroon? He said he has been calling them. They said they have not released any water. But they said they will inform. They are the ones that should be keeping us informed on the basis of the MOU. They didn't. Finally, they said, okay, that they will inform us tomorrow. They didn't inform us. They informed us 24 hours after they had released the water. They did the same thing 2 years ago. And we had to write, I wrote to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Nigeria had to write a protest letter to the Cameroonian authorities that they did not inform us. It was after our rains had gone, then suddenly we saw flood in Adamawa area. And we realized, we were asking them for 2 weeks, they were denying that they had opened the reservoir. And of course it didn't go to the confluence, it was limited to the areas of Adamawa State, that was, and Taraba, because like I said, the contribution to the flood by Lagdo Dam is not so high.
See, boldly, confidently saying nonsense. And he said, we will continue to have flooding. They are saying it to you. There's nothing we can do. But wait, all these things I said earlier, and I've shown you. That's why I said, if you think any of what I've said is probably just, you're just saying nonsense, Mayegu, can you actually look me in the eye and tell me that I have said nonsense so far with all you have seen? When you can actually go and grab your own iPad right now. You see this thing on your screen? You can grab your iPad and go and check it and see how there's nowhere you want to see that you can't see. And that's one thing about what technology does. Though it probably doesn't give you everything right there in the open, but what technology allows you to do is that you can get to debunk these criminals. And it is so insulting, right? When you look around and you realize that these charlatans are called honorable men and women, and they are deciding the fate of millions of people, including children. And then you look at it, you're like, man, Omo, no be like say future day, no, we not lie ourselves, so because where is it going to come from? They are the people speaking there, and he quickly attacked the social media because social media is the enemy. Social media is the enemy. They will say, don't believe everything you see on social media. They are lying. They don't like us. It's because they hate us. I mean, if people who expose them, if they hate them, what about you that love them? What happened to that love? What happened to that care? I mean, they should be able to reciprocate at least. Some of you come here all the time to defend them and then, fight and do all of that on their behalf. But the point is this. You are those who suffer the consequences of their own criminality. Because all these are criminality. And to me, they are crimes. The crimes that will never be punished because they can get away with that. Because it is Nigeria. And because the victims of all of this, they probably know less, should we say, of how much these guys have really messed things up. And the consequences of that is even like so fatal. And he said it will continue to be like that. Who say that? Whoever, I mean, and then you're building upon that. So good luck to you on that. So I'm going to take calls, okay? I'm going to take calls tonight. Somebody said I should go and check. Don't give me anybody's address. You can try it yourself. If you want to see Us Old Rock, let me see if they will put Us Old Rock on this. I'm going to take calls soon, okay? I'm going to start taking calls. Now, if you want to see Us Old Rock, all you have to do is, all you have to do is just go on that same thing, and just put it. Us Old Rock, Abuja. Hey, hang on. Aso Rock, Abuja. Do I have that? Yeah, I think I do. And it will look at it for you, just like Ifalo Wowa, and it will bring everything all over, and then you can begin to look for what you are looking for. This is Aso Rock Villa in Abuja. You want me to show you what it looks like? I can show you. Now, this is it. This is Abuja, right? Hang on. That is the rock at the top right of your screen. I don't know if you can see that. That's the rock. And if you want to go to the villa, you can see the structure. So if you want to see where Bokwari, Pastor Ruga, and all the terrorist sympathizers, where they are holed up. Oh yeah, let's see. Maybe we'll go see Bokwari outside, if it's not too late. This is inside the villa. This is Bokwari. Maybe they go even add my name to the people they are looking for now, because you know they are always paranoid. This is something anybody can check on out there. How did you do this? It look like a miracle, and for you, Abi, it's not a miracle. Okay, this is Abuja. This is where Bokwari is. His office, the villa, everything you want to see, what it looks like from here. If you want to see the street view, you can get that. It's out there. This is Google Map. It can show you where is his office. This is where they put his office. Yeah. This is it. From the above. Now, satellite, they look at more. Satellite is there. So, this is it. This is where Aso Rock. If you want to see the presidential villa, that's the one, Aso Rock Villa. Adjoining buildings. And that's it. For those of you who have been there, no be so, Ebi. No be so. That's how much I'm so wondering that when they say the terrorists in Nigeria, they are spending billions of your money looking for them. Something that children of 10-year-old children who are like a tech savvy, something they can easily do for you, probably as a you know, assignment or own projects. You get what I mean now? So all this is, they are there. Mayegun, what are you trying to do? This is your National Assembly. No be so? No be your National Assembly be this? You want to see the inner, Mo check. This is your National Assembly. For those who have been there. No be so? This is your National Assembly. If you want to look at it from the streets, this is it as well. For those of you who have been there, Mayegun na old building, it no matter. Now the structure they there so. Now old photo, it no matter. But you can see it. It's not a rocket science. So if you are looking for Mayegun, how do you get to know what is going on? It's because some of you prefer those who are going to come and lie to you as a source of information, because you are so lazy to even verify them yourself. You know what I mean? So if you want to go to Sambisa, let me show you that. I actually have the mind of showing you that, okay? Sambisa Forest, where the Boko Haram terrorist dwells, right? And how big is Sambisa Forest? So you can see it through the Google, through the Google Earth as well. You go look up like Ifa Oracle, Ifa Lowowa. So just give it a minute. It's like I'm loading so much on the system itself. So let's take a look. So it's going to look for Sambisa now. Oh yeah, Oracle. Bring them when we see Sambisa Forest. So you see it on the show. This is the Sambisa Forest that if they build the same dam that Cameroon built, maybe, just maybe, today, this Sambisa Forest will not be occupied by terrorists. It will be a serious farmland where foods are growing and they are serving This is Sambisa. Sambisa Sufi. So if you go on and on and on, it's deep, it's a deep jungle in there, right? And you can map it out. It's so huge. Do you see how long it took for it to get to this sort of a stretch, right? See, look at it. Hey, hang on. I think I'm looking at the wrong one. Right. Sambisa. Maybe I should say Sambisa. Okay, well, it's actually the right one. Sambisa, Sumfre, Bita, Nigeria. You see, Maiduguri. So if you take a look at that, now you can have an idea the spread. Yeah, the entire forest. See it now. This and they are joining. Now imagine if Nigeria genuinely and the other African countries, as they have been milking and duping the government in Nigeria for free money as well, while they continue to allow the terrorists to make an easy passage in these African countries, yeah? So if, for example, in the last 10 years, even where you sit down, so you know be a security expert, I know be security expert, Abi. Imagine what information these security experts have and the equipment they have to go there and survey and check, where are these terrorists, where they, oh yeah, grab them, wherever you see them, These are meant to be like game reserve, you know what I mean? They are meant to be places where all of you should be going for vacation. You say, I travel to Sambisa, it's so amazing, man. Oh dear, if you drink their milk, it's so natural. But if you go Sambisa now, Baba, your family they go to pray, say, at least if you get luck, come back. Now, imagine for 10 years, Nigeria has managed. Look at this major road here. If I'm not mistaken, this looks like a road. Here, let me bolded it. Yeah, let me bolded it and see. This looks like a road. Yeah. And you can see all the footpath and all that, yeah? Musari, Bari, Guonari, Bita. These are in Nigeria, I believe. They even have a center somewhere there. All of these are close to Sambisa. All these areas are controlled by they are controlled by Boko Haram terrorists, all these areas. So do you see why they said they are coming down south? Because all the greener parts are disappearing. Global climate change. The land is, the greener area are disappearing. They can't feed their cows. Yeah, because their criminal politicians from northern Nigeria don't give a damn about them. You see all this land, they are occupied by terrorists now in Nigeria. And occasionally or regularly, they go into Nigeria, that another part, to commit more and more and more kidnappings. Others are giving excuses for why they are doing the kidnappings in southern Nigeria because they can't feed their cows. See all this route. Maybe now all these things that they call the grazing route, Sha. It didn't show up as grazing route. I'm just saying, it's not water. See that line? Maybe they are the grazing route they are talking about. Because if I actually minimize the screen, you will see that all this path, they enter straight into the heartland of southern Nigeria. Where do you think they lead to? They go straight into Nigeria. That path that you're looking at from Sambisa, some of them followed by the Fulani terrorists, down, 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 down. So if I minimize my screen now, you realize that you are is in fact still kind of visible. Now you see, this is how they get the access into the interland, the heartland, Borono, and the rest. And they can kidnap from this place. Yeah. and take the children straight down to their abode for days, and they will never be detected. So imagine if with the trillions that Nigeria is spending on insecurity, imagine if for the past 10 years, they actually used that money to fight the terrorists. Do you really think your food supply, your economy, ruined and destroyed by these armed terrorists that are being given amnesty and all that, do you really think they will be in existence at all? They probably won't. You believe? So let me take a few calls for those who really want to be part of this conversation tonight as it is. So thank you so much for joining me. And you can use a moment to like this broadcast, share it if you haven't. And I'm going to take calls if you have questions. Okay, in fact, hang on. There's a part that I also, caught the image I want to share with you here is the victims who are now internally displaced in Nigeria because of this flood issue in Nigeria. Peter Obi was somewhere in Benue, but look at the people as distraught as they are. Listen.
When you look around, that we are lacking classes. In the class, they you can look at that block. You cannot go inside. That one. We are lacking classes.